Hello, hello.
Hello, is anyone out there? It's a mom's night out.
Welcome back. It's Friday night. Thanks, guys, for coming back. Earlier in the week, we had Lindsay Purcell from House of Stellium join us. Lindsay is an intuitive tarot card reader and Reiki healer. We are so excited to have her give MNO a mini tarot reading.
Let's begin. So I start every reading by lighting some Palo Santo quickly. This just clears the air, clears any residual energy on the deck, on myself. I always clear the deck and then clear myself, and always 3 times. All right. Now I'm going to reshuffle this deck, and then we're going to anchor into your question. Did we decide on what to focus on in 2024 for MNO?
We're all like,
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I think we're focused on our success of our podcast.
Yeah. Success and growth of the community and the brand, don't you think? And the podcast.
Yeah. And I think what we're bringing our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. That feels nice and focused for
Oh,
the
I
reading.
like that. Bring what?
And the 13% males.
Shout out to those men.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Who wants the job of cutting the deck into 3 piles?
I nominate Jenny.
3 piles.
Any 3 piles. Nope. Any 3 piles. Okay, perfect. Now, without overthinking it, restack into 1, any order. That's okay. You can't get it wrong. That's what I like to tell people.
The wrong friend.
No, that's not true. All right, now we're going to anchor into your question one more time and take 3 deep breaths. So we want to get clarity on what to focus on in 2024, where you're going to grow, and what is best for your community in 2024. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and invite you all to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths with me, please. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start pulling cards from the deck. All right, I will explain what the cards mean and their placement and get into the reading for you. Ooh, guys, okay, why am I not shocked that your reading is so very powerful? All right, so first things first, my spread is proprietary to me, which means I made it up. No one taught me this. These 3 cards are going to attempt to answer your question in a 3-part story. This card represents where you're at. This card represents where you're going. Notice the coins. This card up here represents the thing for you to keep in mind above all else. I actually want to start there. I feel really called to start with the Empress. So for people who are listening to this podcast or who are watching, the first card at the top of the spread is the Empress. It is reversed. I'll get into that in a minute. The Empress is a card that really represents being in your full power and being, in your femininity and being someone who understands the ebbs and flows of life. She's in control. She's in her power. She trusts that what is coming to her is meant for her, and she's not forcing or chasing or worrying or wondering what's going to happen. She is surrendered, in control, and in full power.
Whoa.
The 10 of swords or whatever.
Imagine if that came up in this reading. I'd be like, guys, cut.
Whoa.
Redo.
That is like speaking to me so strongly.
I think it's a really good one for all of us to keep in mind, right? Especially as we go through the world. Sometimes we get busy with what we have to do and we get so in the grind mode. But it's really important to remember that abundance flows more from ease. So don't forget that. Don't forget that.
I love that. I'm listening.
It's a good one. All right. Yeah. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep kneeling. All right. The first card here is first of all, quick lay of the land for y'all. You've got 6 cards on the table. 2 of them are major arcana, meaning major themes or major changes. The rest are the elements. You've got 1 sword, 2 cups, and 1 pentacle. Love that mix for you. There are no wands because you guys are already doing a lot already. So I'm not shocked that there's no wands on this table. You don't need to do any more. That's how I'm interpreting that.
Fair.
No wands. All right. So the first card here is the Emperor. And when I see the Emperor, this card comes up for people who are having to show up in spaces where they have to kind of armor up, so to speak. And what I mean by that is when you are out in the world, you may feel like you have to be a couple of different people depending on the environment that you're in. But this card feels like it's playing off of the Empress for you. The Emperor, as you know, they are opposites, right? The Empress is surrendered. She's at ease. She's in her power. She knows her magic. The Emperor kind of has to put on a front. So I think an important message for you in 2024 is to keep your guard down. Stay open. Don't worry about having to, I just heard shapeshift. If you feel like you have to shapeshift in different environments or in different groups, stay grounded in that Empress energy and trust that you have a lot that you're bringing to the table and that you don't have to be anything that you're not.
Do you think we needed to hear that?
How does that one land?
I definitely needed to hear that.
We need to hear that.
Okay. This next card on the table is the King of Swords. What I love about the King of Swords is that this is a card that represents the element of air and it's how you're thinking. King of Swords is also the Aquarius card. I know none of you are an Aquarius, but the entire energy of this card is using logic and clear and detached thinking to approach things. So when it comes to the pod, I don't know if down the road you're going to feel like there are some tough decisions you have to make. I don't know what that could pertain to, but just stay rooted in logic and making the best decisions for you guys, because what's best for you is going to be best for your community. And I think that's important to keep in mind. You are a really great representation of your community, right? People are listening to you guys and nodding in their cars because they agree with what you're saying and they relate to you. So I think this is a card that really wants you to stay like rooted in what's true for you and don't let other people influence you or knock you off kilter. It's a really good one.
Okay. Also, whoa.
Yep. Keep going.
Are you talking to Jen?
I know. Possibly. It's just directly rooted. I did cut the deck.
She did. Oh, she did cut the deck. Okay.
Feels
Just maybe a little bit more
relevant.
influence.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more influence for Jen. The other thing I want to point out for the King of Swords, the other message that comes with this card is you know what to do. You don't need to ask other people for advice. How does that land?
Yeah.
Okay.
Katie's mind is
Freaking me out right now.
I'm just here shocked in silence. So, hey.
I just want the listeners to know, like, we did zero prep with Lindsay.
Zero.
Yeah. No. We Googled like what the cards were. Yeah.
Like a Real Housewives.
What the meaning of
Oh my
different
gosh.
cards.
Kyle Richards.
Oh yeah.
Who was that woman?
Wait.
Oh gosh, I remember that. I mean, she was right, was she not? She was right.
I know.
It wasn't
that's
nice.
True.
It wasn't nice.
It wasn't kind.
That was a Ten of Swords moment.
It was coming from
Might
a
have been.
bad place though. I didn't like that.
The energy wasn't nice.
No.
You should never give a message in front of a room of people.
Yeah. I did
Especially
not like
one
that.
like that.
No, not nice.
Yeah, it was meant to
Yeah.
expose her, not nice.
Yeah.
We did no prep on this.
Yeah.
So, like, the stuff that you're saying is speaking to us, and I feel like we needed to hear it. So thanks for listening. We got 3 more.
No, keep going.
We got
We
3
gotta-
more to go. Okay, so the next card on the table, I'm really curious how this one is going to land for you all. This is the 8 of Cups. And you can see from the imagery here, guys, this person is walking away from some spilled cups. And this card has a message for you to walk away from what is no longer serving you. Is this feeling really influential for you? For one of you? Okay.
I'm
Mandy.
I have like tears in my eyes.
Oh, yeah. This card is a powerful one that really wants you to. The true meaning of this card is there's a loss you have to accept or a defeat you have to accept in whatever context that makes sense for you. It can be big, it can be small, but the true sentiment of the 8 of Cups is it's okay to walk away. It's okay if there's not a perfect bow. Sometimes it's just better to walk away and not. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You don't have to announce your departure.
Katie. Jesus.
So if that lands, okay.
Yeah,
This is all landing so far.
Yeah, sadly,
Okay.
that
Okay.
one.
The card to represent where you're at. I just want to share for the listeners here. The Mom's Night Out crew got 2 king cards, which is like big boss energy. Big boss energy, which I love for all of you. BDE, that's right. Unlike the King of Swords, though, the King of Cups represents the element of water, and that's how you're feeling. King of Cups is the Scorpio card. Hello. Love my influence in the group already. King of Cups is the card that really represents being able to hold. So where you're at is being able to hold space for a lot of people and being a safe space for people to land. So it's really, this card's really geared at your community. King of Cups is one that really is able to not just hold court, so say, but in a really approachable way for people to relate to you, for people to come to you, for people to rely on you. Like, this is also a card that acknowledges that you are someone that people thinks is very reliable and responsible and someone they can trust. So I really, really love that for you ladies. This card, these 2 cards are just fan-freaking-tastic to see on the table, but King of Cups tells me a lot about your hearts.
Yeah.
And a lot about what you're trying to create with Mom's Night Out. So that's like a really big acknowledgement card for you
This
all.
is like exactly what we've been talking about. How we want to create a space for people to be vulnerable and open to us, and like we are creating an accepting space.
Yeah.
Especially for moms and women who feel,
And I want to give you guys a little shout out because for the listeners, I'm not a mom, and I'm always going to be a fan of anything Katie does. And now you too as well. And when I started listening, I was like, oh, this isn't just for moms. This is for women.
No,
This is for women.
And that's so important because
You're right.
called Mom's Night Out,
Yeah.
but it's so much more than that.
I know. And we all share those feelings, especially as we are getting like older, and the feelings are true.
I love that. That's a really lovely card for you guys to have on the table, and it's just like nice acknowledgement of what your intentions are for the pod. But where you're going, by the way, another lovely acknowledgement card. This is the 9 of Pentacles. Ooh, she is abundant. She is planting seeds for future that is creating like generational wealth. She is working her tail off. Yeah, I know. But especially, it was like a nice hit though. It wasn't like a bad.
Friend tap.
Yeah. Let's be clear. That was a friend tap. Friend tap. So 9 of Pentacles. She's abundant. She is. She's worked hard to get to where she is, and she also is doing so for a greater purpose. I'm just getting this energy from all 3 of you that like all 3 of you have this bigger goal to provide for your family. Yeah, I'm seeing like three rings, which is interesting. But they're intertwining them. Oh, you guys are gonna be intertwined forever. I love that for you.
Perfect.
But like in like loving support.
Well, we did sign a contract.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, we just signed a contract.
We just officially signed it.
So they showed me 3 rings, and then they showed me them like intertwining, and like you couldn't pull them apart.
Oh,
And I felt like loving energy around it, not like chained. It was more like you're now tied together. You're in it together. Is that what that's about?
I think we feel that
Yeah.
regardless, but I think we made it official from a
Just last week?
business perspective. We just signed last week.
The ink is not dry yet.
That's crazy.
Well, that's what that card is. And I just feel like the 3 of you are all three people who are like playing the long game when it comes to like what you're building and your finances for your families. I don't get the sense that I feel like all 3 of you are just like very focused on what you could build for your families and the legacy and like making it much bigger than just the 3 of you. Is that how you guys feel?
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
Okay. The other thing I want to point out is the cards sometimes can give us some information too. Yellow backgrounds are always a great sign that good things are on the horizon. You've got 2 of them on here, which I really love for you. Gray can indicate like clarity from confusion. And then of course, when we see these darker skies, you're trying to clear up things that just don't make sense or bring things to light that need to come to light. But the energy again of this card is like, you do not have to announce that you are making moves that are for your higher good. You can just leave. So I think that's an important one too.
That was Mandy.
Oh, guys. All right. Last card on the table. I felt compelled to pull another one. 8 of Pentacles. more about that coin. I love that for you guys. But the Eight of Pentacles, this person is doing, the literal translation is do your best to earn the most. And what it translates to is like dig into the things that you're really good at that bring you joy in doing. I think it also doesn't have to be joy in doing. It can just be double down on what you're good at to make the most money possible. There's this like theme of creating financial security and financial freedom for all of your family. So this card is like a good keep going card. It's an affirmation that you're on the right path and that you're doing what you should be doing.
Oh my gosh.
Wowza. I'm like warm.
Yeah, same.
Wow.
I'm warm.
Same.
All I can say is thank you to the listeners for following along.
Lindsay, thank you so much.
You know, we're all booking a full reading individually with you.
Thank you
and we're
so
coming to your office. But this was absolutely
You mean the North Shore girls are coming to the South Shore?
They intermix.
So
they
excited.
intermingle.
We are accepting of all women.
All women, not limited to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Exactly.
Lindsay, thank you so
wait,
much.
Before we go really quickly, I've got little gift bags for all of you. I've got Sagittarius for Jenny.
Thank
I've
you.
got Gemini for Mandy. And then I've got Capricorn for Katie. So inside you'll find little sticks of Palo Santo and a hematite stone. Both are designed to help you with grounding energy and also just like chilling the vibe down when things get too intense.
I love that. We do need that a lot.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. This was such a
Thank
privilege.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.